Hi crocheters of the world, in this tutorial I want to show you how to crochet this stitch. So we have the graph here. It's a stitch that maybe you have seen it before on the web. Actually, I have seen it time ago, and I also saved the graph, but I just lost it there on my computer. And now one of my followers asked me to do a tutorial on it, and yes, I was just happy because yes, it is a lovely, lacy, fancy stitch that looks difficult, but I will try to explain it as easy as I can, as clear as I can. Now, this is the graph. You will have it. I will share it. I share it on my blog, so you can follow along with me. This is the very first. So this is the chain. Let's say the chain. You know how many chains we need. As you can see, we go to the left, and these are the little puffs. Okay, puff stitches and chains. And we will begin with a puff, 8 chain and puff. And then the sequence to repeat for the width that we want is chain 3, puff stitch, chain 8, puff stitch. And this is the sequence that we will repeat for the length that we want. Okay, then we will work the first row. Okay, and from the second to the 5th row, there are 4 rows of the sequence to repeat in length. Okay, so this is the structure. Now, let us begin. As I said, we will begin with 1 puff, 8 chains, 1 puff. To work the first puff, of course, we have to chain 1. I'm working with a thin yarn. It's a sport yarn. It's to be worked with 2.5 to 3 millimeters hook, and I'm working with 3.5. So just to give you an idea, it is really nice to be worked with a thin yarn. So it's you to decide. You can try it with a DK yarn, so a medium weight yarn, and you will see. From my point of view, it's better with a thin yarn. So chain 1, and for the puff, I make it in between a half double crochet and a double crochet, so not very long, but again, it's your choice. But try to make them more or less the same length along the pattern, obvious. So pull the loop, the length that you need, yarn over, insert hook into the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert hook again, pull up a loop and pull through all. Chain 1, and this is my first puff. Now I will chain 8. This is the first chain, it's the secure chain, which is the first chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and another puff. Okay, from here we will chain 3, puff stitch, chain 8, puff stitch. This is the sequence. So chain 3, puff stitch, chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, puff stitch. And I will repeat it exactly as in the graph one more time. So chain 3, 2, 3, puff stitch, chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, puff stitch. Okay, and as you can see, I repeated 2 times. So chain 3, puff stitch, chain 8, puff stitch, chain 3, puff stitch, chain 8, puff stitch, and you can continue on for the width that you want. Maybe for a scarf, it would be a lovely scarf. Okay, this is it. Now let's go on with the very first row, and this is the foundation row from the second, I said, to the 5th row. So there are only 4 rows for the repeating sequence. So we work the first and then we want to forget it, okay, because we will begin with the second row the sequence. Now chain 6, first chain 3 stands for our double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn, and now we will work like this. Over the chain 8 we work puff stitch, double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet, puff stitch. And over the chain 3 we will work chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 3. So puff stitch, and I will work over the chain 8. I will skip 1, 2, 3, and into the third chain of the foundation chain I will work 1 double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2 chains of the 8 of the foundation and work 1 more double crochet. And the puff stitch. So chain, so you can work the puff stitch with chain, and we work a puff stitch. Then, as I said, over the chain 3 we work chain 3. Here it is, my chain 3. Now I will insert hook into the first chain and double crochet into it, chain 2, and into the last one more double crochet, chain 3, and now we will just repeat this. So puff stitch, again what we work over the chain 8, puff stitch, then skip 1, 2, 3 into the third. I am on the chain 8 into the third, work 1 double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains into the next, work 1 more double crochet, and I will chain 1 and work 1 more puff stitch. Chain 3, I will work over the chain 3 now, chain 3 into the first chain, work 1 double crochet, now chain 2, into the last chain, work 1 more double crochet. Now I will work again, I will chain 3, sorry, to finish the sequence over the chain 3, and I will work again puff stitch, 1, 2, then skip into the third chain of the chain 8 and work 1 double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains and into the next, work 1 more double crochet, work your puff stitch, and we want to finish as we began, but on the contrary, let's say 2 and 3, with puff stitch that we already worked and a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now insert hook into the first chain and double crochet into it. And this is my very first row. Now from here I will begin with the second, so this will be the first row of the sequence repeat. So second row begins with chain 3 plus chain 2 plus a double crochet into the third chain. We have here the chain 3 into the third chain. Okay, here. Let me. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Turn and chain 2 plus into the third chain, 1, 2, 3, work a double crochet. Okay, then we will work like this. Double crochet, we work the double crochet, we work puff stitch, chain 3, puff stitch, and then over the where we work over the chain 3, so where we work chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 3, we will work this. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, 4 double crochet, and 3 chain 2 space. Now let us work 1 puff first, 1 puff, so chain 1 and work the puff, okay, then chain 3 and work 1 more puff stitch, okay. Okay, and now we will work this here. So not over the chain 8 where we work the puff stitch, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, puff stitch, but over the chain 3 where we work this. We skip 1 and 2 puff stitches of the previous row. We insert hook into the first chain. Here I am always trying to insert hook and to have 2 loops on the hook, okay, double crochet, and here we work double crochet, chain 2, double crochet over the double crochet of the previous row, chain 2, double crochet over the second double crochet of the previous row, chain 2, and double crochet into the last chain before the next puff stitch. Okay, here where we have puff stitch, chain 2, puff stitch, we work puff stitch, chain 3, puff stitch. This. So, puff stitch, chain 3, and 1 more puff stitch. And this is the sequence to repeat here on this. Now, chain 1 to finish, yarn over, skip directly, skip 2 puff stitches, and into the chain, secure chain of the second puff stitch that you skipped. Work double crochet, chain 2, double crochet over the double crochet, and this is the sequence to repeat on this second row. Chain 2 and 1 more double crochet into the last chain before the next puff. So like this, as you can see, we will work spaces, we will have like spaces and 3 boxes, open or empty boxes, like the fillet, okay? Because actually it's a kind of fillet that we will work here, okay? Now here we will work again puff stitch, chain 3, puff stitch, and we will finish as we began with double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet into the last double crochet. So let us work puff stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and another puff stitch. And we will finish, as I said, as we began. Over this last chain 3, we insert hook into the first. We work double crochet, we chain 2, and into the third chain of the beginning chain 3, 1, 2, 3, we just want to insert hook and work our last double crochet. So here we actually have one fillet, one little box, and one little box here too. Okay, and this was the very first row of the repeating sequence, the second row of the pattern. Now we go with the third row. So let's go with the third row. The third row, it's this one. We will begin with a chain 3 and a puff, and actually here we will work a box to close this 1 box, 3 box, 1 box, this kind of design. And let me just show you. So chain 3, turn and work your puff. Now work a chain 3 And over the puff, chain 3 puff, we will work like this. Insert hook into the first, so yarn over, insert hook into the first chain, and we will work a box. 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 double crochet into the chain, first chain of the next puff. So we work like this. Here we will work 1 box 2, but we will chain 3, work our puff stitch, 1 2 3, and now yarn over, skip directly into the second double crochet of the fillet. We have 1 2, work 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet. Okay, and this is how we have to continue on. So now I will work a puff stitch, then a chain 3, and in between these two puffs here we work double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet into the chain before the next puff. So we work like this. Okay, now we will chain 3 and we work again the puffs. 1 2 3, yarn over and skip directly into the, let's say, the box in the middle, so the second double crochet or the double crochet of the box in the middle, work 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet. And now work again your puff, chain 3, and we have the last sequence where we work double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. So there are actually 2 sequences, these open kind of squares I will call them, and these boxes, it's like a cross, okay, boxes, and we will alternate this. So now we open here other crosses, we work the boxes, and here we will work the spaces, okay, where we have finished the box. Okay, we finished the 3rd row. As we began, we chain 3, we work the puff to finish actually the sequence, and yarn over, insert hook into the 3rd chain of the beginning, chain 3, and just double crochet to finish. Okay, this is the 3rd row, the 2nd row to repeat. Now for the 4th row, let's say that it's a little bit more difficult, but just to begin and to end it, and I will show you why. Because as you can see, we don't have here stitches, border stitches, edge stitches, we don't have them. So we kind of have to begin like this. So I will chain, I will skip directly into the chain, secure chain of the puff, and slip stitch, yes, into it, and chain 2. Now slip stitch into the chain here, okay, and it's here that I will begin my row with a chain 3 and a puff like this. Work your puff, yarn over, close, and now again chain 2 and skip directly into the chain where you worked your puff. Okay, and now we have these 2 puffs here, these 2, and I will begin with chain 2, double crochet over the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet over the next double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet into the chain before the next puff. Okay, this is what we have, this is what we must have. Okay, and here we will just work a puff, chain 3, and a puff. A puff, chain 3, and puff. It's this purple. So work your puff. Believe me, at the beginning will be a little bit difficult. This is for sure. But just work with me, follow along, and you'll see that we'll have more. Now double crochet sense, I want to say. So I work puff, chain 3, puff, and then I am again here to work my 3 boxes of the fillet. So double crochet, what actually I did into the second 1 2 3 1 2 sorry, double crochet over the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet over the double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet into the chain before the next puff. Okay, and I will continue on like this with, again, now I have to work puff, chain 3, puff. Okay, chain 3 and puff. Okay, and now again here we are, we have to work the boxes of the fillet. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the double crochet, chain 2, and now we work the last double crochet here, and we just need to work the puff, the last puff. So we will just work it, sorry. Okay, we finish with a puff, chain 1, and just work your last puff. Okay, I will chain 1 again, and that's it. It's a little bit strange how we begin it and how we finish it, but believe me. Okay, and we finish with our puff. And now we have just one more, so it's the 5th row. This was the 4th, it's the 5th row, and we just can say that we pass through all our sequence to repeat. And now that we already made the second to last, the 4th row, which is, let's say, the most difficult because it has this strange beginning, let us continue with the last row, the 5th row. It's the last row of the sequence to repeat from the 2nd row to the 5th row. Okay, so we begin with a chain of 3 plus 3 again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we will work 1 puff. Let's go on with 1 puff. One puff, it's this yellow, 1 puff, 1 double, maybe you cannot see. So 1 puff, 1 double, here in the middle, chain 2, 1 more double, and we finish with 1 puff here. Okay. And then we work chain 3, 1, 2, 3, And here where we work the open one, we work 1 double, chain 2 and 1 double into the 3rd chain, and we open another box. And let's chain 3 again and repeat the sequence. So 1 puff, one puff, 1 double here in the middle where we have the box in the middle of the 3 filet boxes, chain 2, so just to complete with 1 more and 1 more, then 1 more double or 1 more puff, sorry, 1 more puff, chain 3, and here where we have these 2 puffs with the chain 3 in between, into the first chain work 1 double, chain 2, and into the last chain work 1 more triple, finish with chain 3, and let's go on with 1 puff again, 1 puff again, yarn over in the middle into the 3rd box, so into the 2nd double crochet that we have, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet to complete with 1 box, and we will finish with exactly as we began with 1 puff. We began with chain 3 and puff, and we want to finish with puff, and here into the puff stitch that we work a double crochet. Okay, so sorry, we have to finish with chain 3. 1, 2 more, and a double crochet. I was wrong. Okay, and that's it. From now on we just have to continue on, we just have to repeat. So look at this, it's really lovely. I think I will continue on for a scarf because it's too, so when you finish one sequence you just want to go on, I am sure. Try it, you'll see. So from the second now, from the second, which is this purple, we have all that we have to do is to repeat second, third, fourth and fifth, second, third, fourth and fifth. So hope you enjoy this tutorial. I will just want to zoom in a little bit so you can see the graph too, and hope you really enjoy this tutorial. It's a really lovely stitch, lacy stitch, and hope you will just give it a try. Even if it seems to be difficult, it is not. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, if you like my tutorials, so you won't miss another one. And if you want to share with me some projects that you worked, crocheted or knitted or Tunisian crocheted following one of my tutorials, I am always happy to see them. You can send me on private message on Facebook page, or you can join my Facebook group or Crochet with Oana, or you can just tag me on Instagram, and I am so happy to leave you a nice comment. So you leave me so many beautiful comments. It's the way that I can just thank you. So see you at the next tutorial. Bye bye.